everybody. Thanks for joining me for another one man review. Today I'm going to be looking at another book that must be a book, a really amazing piece of formalist literature, XX by Rian Hughes, who himself has done a number of comics and design for comics. I know he did, I think it was Dan Dare with Grant Morrison. So a really powerful graphic artist in his own right, and obviously a graphic designer and like font designer and stuff of great acclaim. So I was really excited for this book to come out. This is one of the few books I've kept the dust jacket for because there's stuff on the inside of it that relates to the story. But even without the dust jacket, I really love the design on this. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a bunch of like embossed binary on here. Yeah, this is just, I mean, the guy is a designer first and foremost, so it's an amazing piece of design. But he's a surprisingly good writer. Like, some of these formalist books I talk about are empty and hollow or just not compelling. This is so rich and like, man, this is a huge book. You can see it's like almost 1,000 pages. I just blew through this book. It's such a good science fiction read. It's talking about so many topics like AI and information theory and identity and just so many philosophical topics that I'm obsessed about. And it doesn't just talk about them, it makes them real and visceral through the design of the book. I can't even barely get into the story, but there's like an alien that visits Earth at the same time as the Earth is getting its first really powerful AI, and there's kind of an interaction between those things, and then you get this sense it's not, there's an alien, but there's also an alien signal, and the signal is like a meme that can unpack itself in the head of whoever hears it, and then you're like infected with this artificial intelligence from another planet or something. It sounds crazy, but it's a cool book. It's a great story. Has a lot of, because Rian Hughes is a designer, a lot of play with typography, a lot of play with symbols. It has a fun formal structure, but it's repeatable. Like the way it repeats and flips between the different characters is compelling, but it's got a rhythm enough to it that you can catch on to it. You're not like lost in all of this trickery. So it has a lot of these like documents here about where the actual signal came from, and then actual novelistic parts, and yeah, there's a real good rhythm between all of that. I just cannot recommend this book enough. I want to flip through just enough where you can see some of the cool different stuff. There's photographs in here. I do feel like if they had the money to do like color and some other things, it could be even better, but I get it. Like it's already a hell of a production. My favorite thing is when they start contacting some of the AI, they assign, so there's a reason in the story why they assign different fonts to the different AI characters, and the AI characters are able to use font to express themselves in a way. And so what looks like an author just playing, here we go, he starts playing around with some real modernist design. There's really good science fiction reasons for all of the font play here, and it makes the fonts a character, and it's absolutely chilling when you read this stuff, because it's not just, it looks like when you see this book that it's just play for no good reason, and it contributes so much to the story that it actually becomes like horror, like it's scary, like holy shit, like this, build me a body, fuck you. There's a real good reason for that in the story. And yeah, that idea of font as character. And then here, like, I don't think it's giving away too much to say that the AIs kind of become like spirit of the times. So this is like the Victorian font. The other one's the 20th century. So it's all that modernist stuff. There's another AI that's like the 21st century, so she always talks in like tweets and stuff. Yeah, here's the 21st century girl. So all kinds of cool stuff, and then they go into um, where they're trying to talk to alien intelligences. Here's some hand. I'm always curious. Now that kids don't learn cursive, can kids even read this anymore? That's an interesting worry I have about books like this. Is that cursive has actually become a foreign, unreadable language to kids. Most of my students can't write or read cursive anymore. Within this book, there's also a series of fictional science fiction books that tell a side narrative that's thematically related. So it's kind of like this Herschel Teague character, his book Ascension, and so that's part of the rhythm of the alternating narrative styles that are going on in the book. So it's kind of like the pirate book in Watchmen. It's like a sub narrative, but it doesn't feel cheesy. Like, it feels really integrated, and again adds to the emotional content. There's pages like this where they're trying to communicate with the alien. They're trying to like also they're trying to find a way to interpret the data that's coming in on the signal. So this is an idea I'm really interested in, filtering things through different like algorithms, and seeing how you can change one set of data into pretty much an infinite amount of music, visuals, diagrams. So like at a casual look, it all seems just like an excuse for Rian Hughes to play, but it all has really important narrative context. Any trick that you see in here means something, and it means something important to the story. So this is by far one of my favorite books I've ever read. You can see it's a big, dense book, and I blew through it as quick as possible. Just so much fun. Nothing goes to waste. Nothing in here is just for the hell of it. I hope he does more. I can't imagine how he could do more. It's like he threw every idea he had into this book, and it all made sense. If he can pull this off again, like, I can't even imagine. But I cannot. The only way I can see to go further with this is that the next one is digital, and that it justifies itself as a digital object and has interactive elements or something. So XX by Rian Hughes, fantastic book. Everyone should go order a copy. Thanks for following along. Take it away, Jack.
You want to see all these books? Smash